Good morning and welcome back to Hump Day with Hollywood. Hey, at Turfway Park today. Sorry about the little delay. My computer's being a little bit glitchy this morning and didn't want to download videos. Didn't want to, I don't know, just sometimes. My son told me, good afternoon, Jose. Hello. Barry Knight, how are you? Ron Burgundy almost shocked you. Well, just about. Can we come in third, right? Gialibus tried. At 7 horse one, I actually think I had the trifecta in that race. I hope you bet it, Barry, because you said you need a Christmas present. So I think I paid $53. So with your budget, if you did it 10 times, you would have bought all the Christmas presents you need. Well, maybe 100 times nonetheless. But my son was telling me that Windows, what is it, 11, 12, 48? I don't know. But whatever Windows version it was, everybody hates it. I guess my computer updated and it's a bit glitchy, so might have to work out those glitches. Terry, does your computer just update all on its own, and then when you wake up, you're just like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, it does that. Does that a couple of times. It did it while I was working on it. Stopped me from working.
Yeah, I hate that. I mean, why don't I have any control over my damn computer? I don't know. But I do have some control over the free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Today's free picks are going to be Remington Park. Most of the horses, that was the track where most of the horses popped out with a best bet ranking. So you can see that here. I don't know. I'm not logged in, but it does still pop in without me being logged in. Those races will begin at 6:30 p.m. tonight, East Central Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, free. There is a link in the description below. When our show is over and long before the racing starts at Turfway Park, we'll have our commentary along with the race replay here at horseracingtoday.net. You just click on this link right there in the middle of the screen, and it'll take you like to yesterday's show right in there. Kindly support the show by hitting the HRT gear button right here. Maybe if I could pronounce it more clearly, more folks would click on it. You get over there, you can find great red number one hat. This is probably my favorite hat of the bunch right there with the number one. You can't get that anywhere else. If you're on the blue team instead of the red team, well, you can make it a blue hat. So you're not, or you can make it gray. You can personalize it. You can do what you want to do, but whatever you do, help support the show. Right, Terry?
That's right. They're good equipment too. Hats and shirts work really well.
Yeah, they last a long time. And if you have those baby blues like Terry, get the number 3 and it will accentuate your eyes for sure. All right, well, let's accentuate some hopefully winning picks today at Turfway Park. All weather, all races on that synthetic surface, Terry. A few different distances today. I think they're either all 6 furlongs, a mile, 6.5 furlongs, and there's 1 mile and a quarter race. Let's get cracking with the first 6 furlong version.
Yeah, 6 furlongs, maiden claiming race, $15,000 claiming price, $24,700 purse. It's for maidens, 2-year-old fillies.
Tafum, sorry. Can you help me? There's free picks, Tafum, over at Guaranteed. They got free picks, but you can get all of the Tampa Bay Downs picks you want. You can also look up Ren Carruthers on Twitter. She's the track announcer there, the wife of Matt Carruthers, and they call her the Petty Geek. She probably knows pedigree as well as anybody. So again, Ren Carruthers on Twitter, Tafum, might be a great place to go. 6 furlongs on that all-weather surface in Kentucky. Stalkers do well, so be middle forward. Still 25% get to the lead and hold the lead to the finish line. Your post positions are mostly fair, although 2 and 3 get a little bit of a discount. We do 1,000 simulations. Terry, a lot of horses to simulate here to see who has the best chance to get to the lead. We isolate the horse's best races, compare our projected pace to see how closely today's race will match the horse's best performances or comfort zone. Score over 50 is preferred. According to James Quirin, any horse that has Quirin points of 30% or more, it's a horse you might want to pay attention to. The 9-horse fitting that description. 1,000 simulations. We also calculate out, see how many times a horse will run a par speed figure or better. In this case, equaling 70 or above. You see the only horse qualifying there is the 8. And then simulation odds. We want our horses to have post-time odds that are higher than our simulation odds. Terry, take it away.
Well, as you can see there, there's several horses, 9, 7, and 4, that show the most speed. The 9 should get to that quarter pole first, as it's got double the speed of most of the horses in here. And then the 8 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 5 to 1. The 8 is the only par plus number. 8, 4, and 9 have the highest C zones. And look there at that 9 has a really nice Q30.
Interesting that neither of us has berries and cream as a part of our picks today. Well, a lot of these horses, Terry, they haven't won yet, hence the maiden race. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 11. They have not finished within 5 lengths of the winner. The finish line, 10, 12, and 13 today. They're going around the track live for the first time. And the 4 horse of all the horses with experience, the only one that's done anything in there, Terry, was a pressure horse. So ran right off the pace. A lot of horses that win their debut do so on the front. It looks like Jane Payne, Catalog Queen, Me Little Frost Girl. Well, the 9 and the 7 will definitely set the tone, not including the first-time starters. The end of the race, Me Little Frost Girl. Well, that's about appropriate. It's going to be 18 here tomorrow, so there'll be some frost for sure. Has the most late speed of the front runners. Wisdom Bomb will be in there as well. Really pretty tight mix, though, in here at the end. Our top total pace horse for the experienced horses, you got 4 of them right here that are a bit better than the rest, the 4, the 7, the 1, and the 8. Ordinarily, the winner comes from that 4, Terry, but you might have to consider some first-time starters. What did you consider?
Well, I like number 9, Jane Payne. She did not seem to take to the mud in her debut race. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 31% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden claiming race to a maiden race. Then I like the 4, Me Little Frost Girl. She drops in class today, has the highest last race speed rating. And then I like 3, Scary Proposition. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 26% of the starts when dropping a horse down 2+ classes, and a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 7, Catalog Queen. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and a bullet workout on November 27th at 4 furlongs. No additional bets for me here.
So I'm going to start with the 4 horse. This one is Me Little Frost Girl. Of all the horses with experience, only one that has a par race on the resume, and also top last race speed figure was 8 points better than everybody else, and a pretty good chance to be improved horse in the second start after a layoff. Add More Lipstick. That one is a first-time starter. Has that bullet and go workout. Harriet ran 4 furlongs, breezing for 47 seconds. What do you call that?
Very, very fast.
Yeah, it's pretty fast. But Catalog Queen, you can't miss its Turfway Park workout. 4 furlongs and 46 and 4. What's that then?
It's even faster. Yeah,
that's even what my note goes, and I didn't even share it with you. All right. And then Jane Payne, the 9. That one is your maiden special weight dropper. Speed, and then some fade in its debut. Some more stamina today. Next on my list was that morning, our simulation favorite, the 8, Berries and Cream. I feel like with all these maiden races and this all-weather, horses changing surfaces, I just did a lot of trifecta boxes today. No real standout to me. So 4, 7, 9, 10 between our pick 4s and my trifectas. Something in every race, hoping to catch 1 decent, maybe 2 decent-sized tries on the day. Race number 2, another full card for us to discuss here, Terry, and another one that's going to go 6 furlongs.
Okay, it's 6 furlong claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $15,500. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
Again, for 6 furlongs, profile of a winner, stalkers, still 1 out of 4. Wire-to-wire types, post positions are mostly fair, although 2 and 3 get a little bit of a discount. Good chance to go wire-to-wire if you have a good chance to get to the lead by yourself, and maybe the 4 can do just that.
That's right. The 4 should do that because look at all that speed that 4 shows. All but the 10 does show speed, but the 4 has anywhere from triple to double the speed of the rest of the horses. And the 1 has an overlay from 10 to 1 to 15 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 7 to 2. All but the 3, 7, 9 have par plus numbers. All of them have C zones, but the 4 has a really nice Q30.
Yeah, so the 4 are going to get on the front. Should be comfortable up on the front. Doesn't say that in the C zone, though. And top par plus score in there. So maybe a little overlay. Maybe Steel Link is one that could go up to the wire to wire, add to that win rate. You got a somewhat balanced race. It's only 2, somewhat lead dependent, 5-9. This group right here in the middle wants to pressure. This group wants to close. With all of these horses middle back, I would suspect that being forward early on, not necessarily on the lead, but within striking distance, should be advantageous. The 4 horse, the pressure horse, doesn't need the lead. 5 points clear of the 11 and the 12. So he's on the inside. He's got a full length advantage over everybody else. The 4 could get to the front. That 2 horse here, a left arrow horse, Terry, he's going to be in that mix early on too, but usually a closer. Keep an eye on that. As the race comes to an end, Indigo Rich, well, you should just bet that one from the last name only. That one has the most late speed, about a length and a half faster than Acasio. So much quicker than all of them at the end. Looking at our top total pace horse, you got Steel Link, and then the horse with the best name of all, Indigo Rich. So 4, 7, 1, and 10, that's the group that usually produces the winner. Terry usually produces the winner too. Who's yours?
I like Acarcio, the 10. The won his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, and a bullet workout, 5 furlongs on November 30th. Number 4, Steel Link, second choice, won his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. The 12, El Peligro.
El Peligro.
Pila, yeah, whatever. He has finished his money in 2 races out of the last 3 starts. Won one of the races and drops in class today. The 11 is my long shot, he won his last race. I'm going to play the first Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 2, 4, 10, 11, 12 with the 1, 6, 11, with the 9, 10, with the 4, 7, 8. That should be a $45 ticket.
$45 ticket. I'm going to start with I can even put Indigo Rich in the race, which I'm going to probably regret. I'm going to start with Steel Link. That's the one I'm going to put at the top there. Plenty of good workouts for the horse with green across the board there, prepping for the first race off the sidelines. Stun'em, the 2 horse. This one has its best races on an all-weather surface and going to drop in class. Some horses either love that surface or hate that surface. There's very few that kind of don't care. Acasio, the 10 horse, 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. Better early pace in its last race and cutting back in distance could be to its benefit. 4 Flag, the 8 horse. That one's making the 3rd start after a layoff, running at the lowest level in its last 10 races and has some of the most back class. 2, 4, 8, and 10 for me. 2, 4 in that next leg. 1, 6, 10, 1, 7, 11, 13, another $48 pick 4. And good luck with those because these deep fields could be tough to figure out which race just to put 2 horses in, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, hopefully we don't have to worry about that in race number 3. No pick 4 here, Terry. One of the ones at a mile.
Okay, yeah, it is. We're stretching out to that mile, and it's a maiden claiming race, $50,000 claiming price, purse $31,000. It's for maiden fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the profile of a horse at 1 mile. You have closers that usually get the job done, although still 1 out of 4 get to the front, keep the front, and run straight into the winner's circle. There's an evident inside to outside bias, so being on the inside can be helpful to get tactical position, Terry. You're looking for some speed. It looks like a lot of it's scratched out, so maybe a few of them jump to the front.
Well, actually, it's in anyone's guess race. As you can see there, they all have, or most of them have some kind of speed. Nobody's really out there except for that 5 horse. And then the 3, 7, and 12 have the best overlays. The 3 has an overlay of 9-1 to 12-1. The 7 has an overlay of 7-1 to 10-1. And the 12's overlay is 9-1 to 20-1, which is really nice. All but the 9 and 10 have par plus numbers. And all of them have C zones.
Yes, a lot of them with a 50% C-zone score. It's an open race. Somehow we ended up with the same 4 horses. 5, 11, 13 on the lead. These guys want to close. These 3 right here so far really struggled to keep up at the end. Our early speed horse is the 11. Air Force Thunder. A little bit quicker than the 3, who's on the inside. A little bit quicker than the 13, who's outside. Then a little bit of a drop-off from there. At the end of the race, in a competitive race, Yo11 That one is a little bit faster than my Lily May, faster than Ellie's Dancer, but very competitive down the stretch. So early positioning could be the key to this race. Yo 11, Evermore, Air Force Thunder, Ellie's Dancer. Those are your top 4, Terry. Who are your top 4?
Well, I like the 2 Yo 11. She ran second in her last race, has a high percentage when trainer wins 28% of the races in the first race after claiming horse, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The 11 Air Force Thunder, second choice, finished third versus similar on the dirt in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer wins 20% of the starts in the second race after that trainer claims a horse. Mischief Lily, the 6, is my third choice. She's been in the money in 6 races out of the last 7 starts. Drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like my long shot 4, my Lily May. She drops in class today. Her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to go about changing my last horse there a little bit. The 11 would be my next choice. Was my just after going through some of that, the late scratches, didn't really get a chance to thoroughly look at everything in there. So after second thought, I'm going to put the 5 in there instead of the 11. So you know what that does, Terry?
It means that the other one's going to win.
The 11 is your absolute guaranteed. Air Force Thunder will bring the thunder at the end. But the 2 horse, Yo 11, was second by a nose last out. All on paper, this looks like a class rise, but if you take a look at our data sheets, which will be forthcoming shortly, in race number 3 here, I have to the right a measure of how much they're moving up or down in class. So Yo 11, this one at 3 to 5, looks like it's moving up in class on paper, but when you look at it for real and you make that matrix, it's only a 1 speed point increase. That's not that much, Terry.
No.
And it also has a par race for this level. So that move up shouldn't make a difference at all, even though it's a small one. So that's why Yo 11 gets the call here. My Lily May, the 4 horse, my next choice, the all-weather. That is absolutely the right surface for this one. 8 times out on the synthetic stuff, 3 seconds, 3 wins. And in fact, that Turfway, 6 times out, 2 seconds, 3/3. That's 5 out of 6. Mischief Lily, that one's next on my list as well. Terry popped in there. It's one of our top total pace horses. And the 5 horse, with all the other scratches out, maybe gets to the front, hangs on for a piece at the end. Again, one of our top total pace horses. My trifecta box is 2, 4, 5, and 6. And also preferring the 5 perhaps a little bit from the inside draw relative to the outside draw for the 11. Race 4 in this 9-race card, Terry. Tell us about the conditions for the 4th race.
Well, we're going to shorten up a little bit to 6.5 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $8,000 claiming price, purse $24,700 for 3-year-olds and upward.
Let's see, Terry, if you come across such a beautiful person, let me know. Write me, Tampa Racing. Terry, you have a pen pal in Turkey, in Tafum.
I know. Yeah.
6.5 6.5 furlongs. Stalkers, Terry, middle forward. 35%, so still a big proportion going gate to wire. Rail bonus for buzzer. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, they get squeezed a little bit. 8 and out, fair runs around the track. Speed in this case, probably the most important in 6.5 furlongs. Terry, anyone with a lot of giddy up and go?
Well, the 9 and 11 show the most speed. They could go head to head as they're pretty close to one another. None of them show any overlays that I could see. All of them show par plus numbers, and they all show Z zones.
And let's take a look at the race shape for race number 4. Well, again, one of those races that's tilted with most of the horses being middle back, although this grouping here has a lot of flexibility. But still, favoring a horse that gets to the front at a distance that wins 35% of the time. And boy, except for Rogue Element, it should be really competitive for the lead. Speed of the speed could be important. That might be the 9 horse, Love the Nest. Little bit quicker than Global Stage, although Seminole Beach to its inside buzzer. This one could get hot. I would definitely want a horse with some late speed here. Seminole Beach has the most of it. A little bit better than Crosstown Shootout. As we take a look at the early pace and late pace combo, 6, 10, 2, and 12, somewhere in there, Private Ross is absolutely cryptic codes I don't think 10 minus 12 minus 2 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. I mean, it all adds up somehow, Terry. How did you add them up?
Yeah, I like as my pick of the day, Parks picks of the day is number 10 Crosstown Shootout. He won his last race, has the highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then the 9 Love the Nest is my second choice. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 33% of the starts when dropping a horse down 2+ classes. Then I like the number 1 Buzzer. He's won 2 races out of the last 3. He has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 50% of the races with the horse who has been out 46 to 90 days, and he has a high percentage winning jockey as well. Number 8, Rogue Element, my long shot, has won 2 races in a row, goes for a hat trick, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet 25 to win and 30 to place on number 10, $2 exacta box 1, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to play a $3 exacta 10 on top with the 1, 8, 9. And then a $4 daily double, the 10 with the 4, 7, and 8. That's it.
I put 10 Crosstown Shootout at the top of my pick too. This horse absolutely loves all weather. And the resume says that its second start after a layoff is going to look a whole lot like the first one. And the first one off the bench was the top last race speed figure for this group. Seminole Beach is the biggest class dropper in this field. Very consistent performer, has the most late speed, and in this group, as we saw, won't be far off the pace. So if the 6 is close coming out of that turn, look out, folks. Number 1, Buzzer. This one's coming off the bench, has a couple of decent works. It is one of our top par plus horses along with the 6 horse. And then finally, Jura was a tough call over a couple of other horses for me, but I like the fact that this horse should be one that has a good chance to run a par race. And also, it just looks like a better fit than the rest for me. To be honest, it was a toss-up. 1, 6, 7, and 10 is my trifecta here. Hopefully, we get a nice price to come home across the finish line first. Terry, it doesn't cost anything, and it's always a great price. That's free, and it's a great way to help the show. And how do you go about doing that?
Well, you subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell so you're notified with all the great programs coming up, like Foreign Fridays. And then also go down and copy that link to share with everybody you know so they can come and check us out and subscribe to our channel. Go to our social sites such as X, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, Instagram at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. That helps us out quite a bit. And also keep these comments coming and your picks for the day. We enjoy seeing them. They help out with the algorithms.
Yes, indeed. Any interactivity helps us a ton. One of the ways you can interact with us, and it's very convenient, when the show is over, in the description on YouTube, you'll see a little button that says more. Click on that, and there will timestamp every race. So when the races are about to begin, you can rewatch every one of them to see our analysis, so you can either laugh, cry, or celebrate. Hopefully, choice C is the most common. Terry, 5 furlongs here in race number 5 for a bunch of babies.
That's right. We're going to go back to 6 furlongs, and it's a maiden $80,000 purse, and it's for maiden fillies 2-year-olds.
Yeah, I think more than half of this race making its first start. So our simulations are pretty much meaningless in this case. For 6 furlongs, though, the history is important. You still want to know that 25% of the horses that win the race to the quarter-mile marker also win the race to the finish line. Post positions are not deal makers or deal breakers anywhere. Terry, again, you see here in race number 5, look at all these first-time starters. So really, none of the data means a whole lot. So we'll skip all of the simulation stuff for race 5, and we'll just make our picks and explain why.
Okay. In race 5, I like 4, Chris's Kitty. She finished second in her debut race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. And I like the 7, Cosmic Wonder. She is a first-time starter who breeding suits today's distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Waiting for the Light is the 8 horse. She is also a first-time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 3 starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I like number 9 is my long shot, Pepper Girl. She drops in class today, has the highest high percentage winning trainer, wins 26% of the sprint races. he has a horse competing in, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
One of the nice things about our upcoming sheets here for race number 5, with all these first-time starters, you have this speed chart here, so you can get a chance to see who's going to do what. You see nobody here has a par race on the resume. That's important with first-time starters. Of the horses with some experience, the 2-horse did pop the top total speed figure, but it's scratched out, so it's not in this race anymore. So you have down here, you talked about jockey and trainer stats. Here they are relative to everybody else. But we're also good about doing our homework on the 3-point system that I talk about over and over again, and also identifying horses that have the last race speed, last workout being a bullet workout or a back bullet workout. One of my favorite things. I know Charles told me it's meaningless. We also put over here for the second horses making their second start to see which ones, if they have typical improvement, have enough ability to get to par for this level. So no second starters with that ability. A couple of them in here with the back bullets, and here are our rankings. So since none of the experienced horses have a par race, I'm going to focus on all the first-time starters, Terry, and I'm going to go with the 1-horse as my top selection. That one is My Lady Sansa, 12-1 on November 5th and November 12th. This horse put in back-to-back 4-furlong workouts of 47-1 and 47-2, respectively. You know what that is?
It's very fast.
It's very fast. You talk about that 7-horse being your first-time starter of choice, and they're Brad Cox's horse, so you know how good of a trainer he is. This one has a back bullet as well, 4 furlongs in 46-3. You know what that is?
Yeah, it's even faster.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
Ashwag, the 11-horse. That one's my third choice. It is the top-rated first-time starter, 2.9 of 3 points. And then number 13 scratches in Peanuts Lady, the 13-horse. This is a first-time starter as well with a back bullet of 47-2. You know what that is?
It's fast, but not as fast as the last one.
Yeah, that's right. They're fast too. So I'm going to go with the 1, 7, 11, 13. And if somehow we collect on that one, I think there's a pretty good shot. It should have a pretty solid payout. And again, these data sheets with the first-time starter information, the second time, who can run par, who's not running par, how much they're moving up and down in class, if they've improved their pace, they've improved their fractions, how good the jockeys and trainers are relative to each other. All of that data will be available for every single track coming soon. Just waiting on the how-to guide, and then we'll announce very enthusiastically where you'll be able to get everything. Race 6, Terry, that's next for you and me as we tackle the back half of the Turfway card this evening.
Yeah, well, we're going to stretch back out to a mile, and it's a claiming race, $30,000 claiming price, $31,900 purse for fillies, 2-year-olds.
Yes, more 2-year-olds, but in a couple days they'll be 3. So they're really 3-year-olds getting ready to celebrate their birthdays. A mile, again, the profile of a winner favors closers. Still a good proportion. 1 out of 4 manages to get to the front, stay on the front, and never give up the front. There is a very much an inside to outside bias again. So sorry, not sorry. Good chance for Penny Lauer and Adam Bashiza to outrun its 30-1 odds. Terry, but does it have enough speed to perhaps be involved early on?
Well, as you can see there, several of them have speed. Nobody has outstanding speed. The 8 has the most. But, yeah, I think it's an anyone guess race here. And then the 7 has an overlay from 6-1 to 20-1. 8's overlay is 7-2 to 6-1. And then all but the 1, 5, 6, and 10 have par plus numbers. All of them show C zones.
Looks like you have to change your top pick here, Terry, because it looks like you have Rose Rita scratched out.
Oh, that's right. It is. I'll take care of that.
All right. So when we're looking at the mile, again, we're talking about closers and all of that. So let's take a look at our pace to see who has the best chance to close or maybe even get to the front. Well, we got a lot of horses that definitely want to lead. 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11. So it could get hot in here. Could be a Nelly song. When you look at all this top speed here, you got 6 points separating all of them except the one. Sorry, not sorry. That 30-1 on the rail. So that one might be dead last out of the beginning and maybe dead last at the end too. But very competitive early part of the race. So it'd be speed of the speed, pounds in town, or have some late legs. And looking at those late legs, it does look like the 11 Bisa. That one has about a length and a quarter. Again, 5 points equals about 1 length advantage over the rest. So if Bisa is close, not too far wide through the turns, good shot to close it out. This race, top total pace, probably going to give you a good hint. The 11, the 5, the 10, and the 8, they're all a length better than the bottom crew down in here. So any of those, Terry, catch your eye? The 8, 11, 5, 10, or 8?
Yeah, I like the 4 as my first choice. Cruz Chica. She won her last race. And then I like number 6, Cooking the Books. She won her last race and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then Run Camilla Run, the 8 is my third choice, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like the 5, Campaign Promises, my long shot. She can improve at this longer distance. She also has been in the money 2 out of 3 debut, out of 3 career races, winning one of those. And she has a nice workout on November 30th of 4 furlongs, 48 breezing. So that's my long shot. So then as far as my picks go, I'm going to play the pick 4. And I'm going to play 4, 5, 6, and 8 with the 6, 7, with the 8, 10, 11, 13, with the 5, 8, 9, 11. I think that's a $48 ticket.
You have 4 by 2 by 4 by, well, that's a little more than $48.
Is it?
Yeah, because you got to have a 3 in one of the legs.
Oh, boy.
You want to have, well, you put the 5 in at the end there. You just want to have 3 in this leg, or which one? I'll let you figure it out in the meantime.
Yeah, I'll take the 5 out of the first leg.
All right. So he's going to take the 5 out of the first leg. All right. So for me, I'm going to start with the 8. Run, Camellia, Run. This one, Terry, after the scratches in this race, is the only one left that has shown it can hit par for this level. And that's one that's been on its recent resume. Number 11, Bisa. That one, I don't know what a Bisa is, but it's a very consistent performer. Last time out, the pace was better from the middle of the race to the end of the race. We saw a horse win that way yesterday. Maybe this horse was a touch quicker with its fractions last time out. Kind of hard to make apples to apple comparison because it cut back in distance. So when a horse cuts back, you expect it to run a little bit faster. And then number 5, Campaign Promises. We heard a lot of those running up until November 6th. Thankfully, those commercials are all off the air. This one could take her game up in the second start after a layoff. And between races has some of her best published works. And then finally, Pounds in Town. That 10 horse, another long shot. And here ran a lot faster early fractions last time out. Usually an indication of a horse that's coming to form. I'm going to go with 3 horses here too, Terry. I'm going to go 3 horses all the way across mine, $48.50 pick 4, because I really couldn't find a race to cut down to 2 horses. So I said, oh, to heck with it. I'll just go 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 and wish that I gave us a higher budget. Race 7, Terry, what's it all about?
Okay, here in race 7, we're going to go to a 6.5 furlongs, and it's going to be a let's see, it's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,600 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
At 6.5 furlongs, we talked about that one being the one where really speed's probably the most prevalent, winning at a pretty healthy 35% of the time to be the front runner. There's a rail bonus where a gun show can get to the front. It might put on a gun show if the sun's out, for sure. 2 and 3 play fair, 4 through 7 a discount, 8 and out is fair again. So, Terry, does Gun Show have any wheels?
Well, as you can see here, it's another one of those anyone guess races because they all have some speed, or most of them, and most of them are pretty close to one another. The 1 has an overlay 5 to 2 to 10 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 10 to 1 to 20 to 1. All but the 2, 4, and 8 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Yes, yeah, so a pretty competitive race it looks like here, but they all are at Turfway Park. Just about anything can happen. It's like a bunch of 2-year-old races, even when they're not 2. Absolutely perfectly balanced outing here. 5 on the front, 5 in the back, 2 in the middle. The 2 in the middle might get the best trip, so keep an eye on those 2. Early on, you have the 7, the 3, the 6, and the 1. Yeah, just like it shows up here. Although you do have the 6 over here. Bay Lounge. That one's a little bit of a left arrow action, Terry. So a closer that should be closer to the front than usual today. Those horses are especially dangerous. Slink, the 8 horse, is the quickest at the end, along with Breakout Star. So those two closers, they do look like with that red early on are going to be way back at the pack. They're going to hope all those middle forward horses really step on the gas when the gates open. That would give those two the best chance to win. Look at this, from 155, Terry, all the way down to here before it gets under 10. You could pick a whole lot of horses in this race. Tell us which ones you picked and why.
All right, I picked the 7 Gold Frank. It's won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. I like the 6 of my second choice. Drops in class today. Has the highest speed figure, speed rating, last race speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Wins 37% of the races when he's using first time linkers. Number 4, Don't Stop. Finished second in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. I like the 11 Breakout Star as my long shot. Ran second versus similar on the dirt in the last race. And her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters. No additional bets for me here.
The 7 horse also gets the nod for me as my top selection. In fact, we both agree on the exacta in here. This one should be involved from the start all the way around the track. Run well in its first races off the layoff like today. Bay Lounge, the 2 horse, its CV says the second up after a layoff could be better by a little or perhaps better by a lot. Gun Show, this one should be towards the front today. Trying all weather for the very first time as our heavy simulation overlay favorite in here. But it's November 27th, Turfway Park, 4 furlong workout, 47-1. Terry says she just might like it. And then number 11, Breakout Star. That's what you and I are hoping to be. Breakout stars on the internet, Terry. 2 of his 3 races at Turfway Park would do. So far, we're broke down stars, though. 1, 6, 7, 11 is my trifecta box for this race, Mr. Terry. And I see here, Terry, that you gave Tafum a nice one there to win in race number 2. You told him to play the 3 horse.
And it
Tafum,
won.
that means you got to give us the 5-star rooms when we come over to Turkey. All right, 2 races to go at Turfway today. Tomorrow, Terry, we'll do Aqueduct, as you alluded to earlier in the show. On Fridays, Tom and I get together for Foreign Friday. We will be in Australia, not literally, but digitally, Mr. Terry. And to make sure you don't miss our digital Foreign Friday show or Aqueduct tomorrow or Parks next Monday, Tuesday, what should you do? What's the smart thing to do besides listen to us?
Well, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel or get your friends and relatives, neighbors to do it too, so that they can come back and see what we're doing here. We'd sure like to get above that 6,000 subscribers, which we're very close to. And then hit that bell so that you're notified about all the programs we have coming up. And then go down and copy that link, share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites at Horse Race number 2 Day. And go ahead and give us thumbs up and likes. That helps us out a lot. And keep those comments and picks coming during the show, as we love to see them and we like to talk about them. They help us quite a bit also.
Any interactivity, so come back and watch the replays. Again, we'll timestamp them in the description on YouTube. Comments, sharing our content. Don't be afraid to cut our, you can go to YouTube. I think you're allowed to cut some of it. If there's something we like that you think, makes sense, or something we said that's really funny, which is pretty much all of our picks, you go ahead and post that up there. Help us out. Any kind of interactivity is very useful. And Tafum, also point out that 3 horse over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet was the best bet of the day. So I hope that you enjoyed that. Free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet tonight for Remington Park. There is a link in the description down below. Make sure you use that so they know where you came from. Again, when the show is over, we will post all of our picks, our comments on horseracingtoday.net. Flat dab center of the screen, you'll see a big picture with the headline. Just click on that, and you'll see our comments, a race replay, the timestamp show, all of the above. And of course, while you're there, Tafum, you just hit something. Head on over to HRT Gear right here in the menu. You see it up here. And come on over here and get yourself a baseball cap, a sweatshirt, coffee mug, a hoodie, whatever it is that you feel you look best in. We know no matter what you put on, you're going to look absolutely your best, be it at the track, at the tree, or just wherever it is you may be. Terry, you and I are going to be all about race number 8 right about now.
That's right. We sure are. And we're going to stretch out to let's see.
That's a mile and a quarter. It's a long one.
Mile and a quarter. Yeah, we're going to a long one. And then it's an optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price if you like to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed.
It's a lot more expensive than those $75 horses yesterday.
That's right. And then the purse is $82,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $12,750 other than a maiden claiming starter, or which have never won 2 races, or claiming price at $25,000.
$1.25. That's a long way to go, Terry. And nobody's gone it wire to wire. In fact, closers dominate. Another one of those races where the more inside you are, the better off you are. So More Than Glory could find some glory on that rail. And you can see down here in the past performances is a closer too. I don't know, Terry. What do you think? Does More Than Glory have an opportunity to do anything, at least early?
I don't know, but that 4 has the most speed, so it could get to that quarter pole first. The 1 has an overlay from 7-2 to 21, which is really nice. And that 4 has an overlay from 6-1 to 8-1. 4, 5, 8, and 11 have par plus numbers, or the best ones, and also the 1. So all of them have seasons.
Yeah, you take a look at that one horse. 20-1 morning line odds, 3-5 simulation odds. More Than Glory, man. Look out. Closer on the rail. Got that strong inside bias and would definitely blow up our tickets for sure. I'm just glad Christopher D'Souza is not here telling us to play the 1 horse right now. I have looking at here. Well, look at this. Most of your horses middle back. So maybe, just maybe today might be the day that O goes on that wire to wire, because everybody wants to come from off the pace. Does anybody have an early race advantage? Well, these through the 5, the 4, and the 11, they'll set the tone early on. They might not have to go all that fast because everybody else is a little bit slower. As the late speed brings the race home, Irish Patsy, Gold Lightning, More Than Glory. Hey, look at that 1 horse, Terry. You Know Nothing. Yes, indeed, that horse. Well, a lot of these horses with some similar late speed. I'm guessing that if we take a look at this, it's going to be pretty competitive. Indeed, that's the case. Except for Vino's Angel, probably too much Vino for that Angel and Condone. Everybody else within, 8 points of each other. So if you get blocked, you go wide, you miss the start. Could be the difference between being first and third from worst. Terry, how did you rank them here?
I like Bestseller, the 11. She has finished in the money in 3 races out of the last 4 starts. Won 2 of those races, has a high percentage winning trainer. You Know Nothing, the 10 is my second choice. Ran second versus Simmer on turf in her last race. Her best all-weather speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Gold Lightning, the 8 is my third choice. She finished in the money in 3 races out of the last 5 starts. She has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like number 13 is my long shot, Irish Patsy. She was beaten only a length and 3/4 versus similar on the turf. And her last start, she has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 24% of the races when taking a horse from the turf to an all-weather surface. And she has a high percentage winning jockey. As I'm out of money, I can't make any other bets.
Gold Lightning gets the nod for me as my top selection in race number 8. I love it when my pick in the race number match up. That's my crypto code there, Terry. It's a highly consistent performer. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Again, that's one of those handicapping angles that hits at more than 15%. And we have that right here in these data sheets that are coming up as well. Also, we have here like a stock chart where we have a high, low, and average in here. If you take a look at that, this will give you a sense of the horse's maximum ability and its average race relative to the other horses in the race. So it might give you a good view of a horse's potential if you're more of a visual than a numbers person. Again, this incredible sheet. I'll just tell a quick story, Terry. Last week, my daughter, who's going to help me because she's a technical writer with the how-to guide, I taught her how to use this, how to do the how-to guide. And then for fun, I said, okay, let's look at 2 races at Fairgrounds. She picked the winner in the first race. That one was the favorite. So I said, okay, maybe she picked the favorite. She saw the odds and went with the odds. The second race, she was between 2 horses and settled on the 8. She liked the 8 better because it wore pink. But she still went through the thing to pick the 2. And the 8 won and paid $23. So 2 races, 2 winners for a young lady who's never, ever, ever looked at any handicapping information, or for that matter, watch any race aside from the Kentucky Derby. That's how powerful I think this will be.
So is she going with you to Hawthorne next time you go?
It's funny. She said, Daddy, I think I'm going to start gambling. I said, no, you're not. There's an element of beginner's luck in there too, but yeah, no. And my son did the same thing. I mean, he does more football, basketball kind of stuff than he does or soccer.
Yeah.
He'll make a few bets here and there, but I walked him through it too. And he was identifying a lot of winners. So I do think this will absolutely make you a better handicapper. It doesn't pick the horses for you, but kind of gives you a different view on the way the horse is set up in this race relative to the rest.
Yeah, they're great sheets. I love them.
They'll be coming out soon. I can't wait. All right. So Irish Patsy, this one, the 13 horse, I thought this one would for sure be at the top of Terry's picks because he's a hometown horse for you coming in from the West Coast, definitely facing a better bunch of horses in Southern Cali. The question for this horse is going to make the first run on the all-weather, but the turf record says that this one should be okay, and considering closers do best, has shown the most late speed out west, where horses usually show a lot of early speed. Number 10, You Know Nothing. I thought that was my name all through high school, Terry. This one's running back to its lone Turfway race, where it was a $300,000 non-graded stakes race. If it can rerun that race, well, it will be a winner. And then finally, the 5-horse Aviance. This one might have the most hidden talent in the race. Thought enough of this horse that they entered it into a grade 2, and you know that Godolphin breeds high-quality horses. 8, 13, 5, and 10 for my trifecta box, which takes us to the last race today at Turfway. Again, tomorrow, Aqueduct, Friday, 4 and Fridays, and then again, rewind everything next week. To make sure you don't miss any of it, you see all of our social sites. We have included Blue Sky as well. All of the handles are Horse Race, the number 2 day. And then, of course, here on Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. Our mothership is Facebook. If you haven't gone over there yet, our good friend Swiss Army Sean putting some good positive information about the horse racing world out every single stinking day. All right, Terry, last race for today.
Yes, we're going to go back out to a mile. It's a maiden claiming race, $7,500, $7,500 claiming price, $18,500 purse, and it's for maidens 3-year-olds and upward.
Yeah, and these horses you might not want to spend $75 on, right? You know, it's interesting. This guy, Melvin Simonovich, I've met him and his son over at some of these horse racing contests. Steve, if you're watching, good luck today with that horse, my friend, and all of your others. They also have a string down at Oak Lawn. Real nice family. So if you ever run into them, make sure you stop by and say hi. So at a mile, the type of horse that does win is a closer, 25% of the time still, though. If you get to the front, you can still win up there. So it's fair. There's an inside to outside bias. So maybe Steve's family's horse is going to get the job done. My brother Mike. Terry, does my brother Mike have a shot from the front?
Well, you know, it's another one of those who knows races because you can see there the speeds all throughout here and they're all different places. So I'm not really sure we'll get there. The 3 has an overlay from 8 to 1 to 10 to 1. 11 has an overlay from 3 to 1 to 7 to 2. 11, 12, 6, 3, and 9 all have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Yeah, and in fact, Steve has a horse racing show where they handicapped Oak Lawn races, and there's a much different perspective than say Terry and I do. I forget the name of it. It's something about turf. Just Google Oak Lawn on YouTube, and then Steve Savinovich. You'll find it in there. But they have on great guests, but they own a bunch of horses, so they look at it too from a different perspective than say just straight handicappers were. There's a lot of like information that they've gathered from watching races and, you know, in some talk that you get on the backside. So it's a good show to keep. I think it's called Capping Oak Lawn or something. But anyhow, a decent show a good show worth watching because definitely you'll learn some stuff there that you won't learn from traditional handicappers. All right, Terry, for the last time today, you're looking at race number 9. Well, you got a lone E horse over here to 3. So see the skies. If that one can see the lead, could be dangerous. The same goes for Photo Op. Everybody else wants to close or hasn't been within 5 lengths of the leader in their attempt to win. Again, this is a pretty low-level race, so getting to the front could be key. Guatape, the closer in here, Terry. That one might be your front runner. Heck, it's 6 points better than everybody else. It could be. That is an absolute definitional left arrow horse, the fastest of them with the early pace, usually closing. Won't forget what it means to finish out a race. Third Degree, though, has the most late speed along with Grand Illusion, that famous Styx album. And then finally, your top two horses in here, the 5 and 11, 6 points better than everybody else. So maybe key those two, wrap a couple else around it for trifectas and exactas, Terry, and go home a winner today at Turfway Park. If you want to go home a winner, what would you bet?
Well, I'm going to start out with the number 9's Photo Op. He has a high percentage winning jockey. He has the highest last race speed rating, drops in class. His best all-weather speed is fast among today's starters. Then I'm going to go with 11 that you were discussing, Third Degree. He ran second versus Tupper on the turf in his last race, drops in class today, and has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 5, Grand Illusion, is my third choice. Drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 36% of the starts when dropping the horse down 2+ classes. And then my long shot is the 8 Full Dress Blues, finished third versus similar on the turf in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. That's it for me today.
I'm going to start off with the 9 horse, like you, Photo Op, top last race speed figure, 3 points better than everybody else. And this one should be, again, that's something else you're going to see in our sheets too here. Any horse that has that advantage over any of the other horses, race number 9, bang, you'll see it right here, Photo Op, that 3-pointer. Also has 3 consecutive speed increases in a row. Look out for that guy. It's also a horse, one of 2 in this race that has a par race. That's usually pretty good. Did show some improvement last time out. Did finish in the front half and dropping in class. Look at all of that with a maintenance workout in between. All of that information available to you right there on that line alone. Number 12, Ramses is the best. That's a Nacho Libre reference in case you didn't catch that. But trainer Karen Witek fires with horses making the first start for her 42% of the time. That's a hell of a number there, Terry. And won 3 out of 8 when dropping a horse multiple classes. That's what we're going to see today. And aside from the 9, the only other horse in the field, again, if we look over here, that has a par race. So you know the horse can actually do what's needed to be done to win here. Third Degree, the 11 horse, is my third choice. Will be closing. Should be fit. 3 workouts between races. And then finally, the 5 horse, Grand Illusion. Maybe too much upside potential in the race with just 2 starts so far. My final trifecta box for the day, the 5, the 9, the 11, and the 12. Here are our full selections for Turfway Park today, Mr. Terry. And then, well, if you want to watch tomorrow's Aqueduct show, Terry, how do you go about doing that?
Well, you just need to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit the bell. That'll notify you about what time our show's going to start. And then copy the link below and share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like because that helps out a lot too. And also keep these comments coming and picks as we really enjoy to see them. They help with the algorithms.
Yes, for Oaklawn, the name of the show for Steve, great guy. It's actually, when I went to Hawthorne contest, one of the first people I meet, very social kid, nice guy. And he some of the things, like I'm so used to betting, like just a little, my normal bets, like $6 trifecta and stuff like that. He's like, bro, you ain't never going to win a contest like that because you got to stake big claims. And he was explaining to me the math behind all of it. So you can learn a lot about that. It's called the Oak Lawn Capping Hour. I would thoroughly encourage you to take a look at that show if you're interested in Oak Lawn picks at all. So Steve is, again, a lot of insight on the grounds, at the track. Definitely well worth your time watching. All right, Terry, that wraps it up for you and I today. Again, here are our full picks. First race coming up at 5:55 p.m. Eastern. There's got to be a cryptic code in that as well. Mr. Terry, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this hump day, as you prepare for Turfway tonight, we certainly hope it has God's grace, God's favor, and everything you do till we get back together again tomorrow
ends up in the winner's circle.
Yeah, I forgot my part there. But we won't forget to see you tomorrow for Aqueduct. Have a fantastic and blessed Wednesday.